Bands in attendance, a good crowd filing in on this Sunday afternoon. It's a busy day on campus as they also have volleyball underway over in Alaska Airlines Arena. So the parking lot is full here as this match gets underway in Seattle. Sun Devils working it ahead as the Huskies hustle back and Holmes clears it away. Arizona State's 2 goals against Washington State on Thursday marked their first multi-goal game since September 29th. Of course, as we mentioned, they've been playing the stiffest of competition in early October. A fight for the ball is won by Kyla Ferry, one of the seniors recognized on Senior Day for Washington. 5 of them honored before the game, and Ferry will let this one spill out of play after Kreitzer came up and went body to body with her. That one's dropped into the box, easily covered by Nellis. Nellis, a first year who missed the first week of the season when she was still competing with the German national team at the U20 World Cup in Costa Rica, but she has consistently been in net since then and helped anchor a solid defense for the Sun Devils. They're coming off back-to-back shutouts. But one was a win, one was a draw. Summer Yates gets it to her left foot, finds Holmes. All the way back here for Sakani. Sakani, a graduate student from Livermore, California. Long ball ahead. This one drops in over the defense. Sullivan settles it. She's a former Sun Devil. Gets turned around by Farrell, and it's booted out of bounds. Sullivan is a senior, by the way, from Prescott, Arizona. This is her first season with UW after playing 4 years with Arizona State, where she appeared in 49 matches and scored 6 goals. Chance for Johnston to pry that one away, but the Sun Devils settle. Nicole Douglas with it momentarily, then she loses it. Definitely keep an eye on her today. The Arizona State career leader in goals, points, and game-winning goals. Time for Sakani. Rolls it back out right side for Seifert. Delgado has it taken away. Back for Seifert again, a senior from New Jersey. Here's Mary Johnston with a little room on the left wing. And cut off by Rennie. Lofted toward the edge of the 18, headed toward net, but no threat at all as Nellis steps up to haul it in. A little give and go from McDaniel. Playing with Yates, but misses the mark, and it spills through to Nellis. It's been a weird season for Arizona State. Had a significant pause early in the season due to COVID protocols, but then ran roughshod through non-conference play, had that 5-match winning streak 2 games into conference play, but as mentioned, then had to play Stanford, USC, UCLA, those 3 holding down the top of the conference right now. It looks like it's a 3-horse race for the conference title between the Bruins, Cardinal, and Trojans. And meanwhile, Washington at one point was ranked as high as 15th in the nation this year. They had a record of 8-1-2, but they're 0-3-1 in their last 4. And hoping their home pitch can help get them back on track. Branson runs it back, finds McDaniel. Cross all the way through the box. Sullivan couldn't get her foot on it. She'll cross it back in. That one spills through too, and Weinert will chase it down in the corner. Weinert, another one of those 5 seniors recognized before the match. And she'll roll it straight to Nellis. Those 5 seniors, by the way, are Kyla Ferry, Helena Reichling, Allie Remington, Margot Clark, and Mackenzie Weinert. You'll hear me mention other seniors and graduate students for Washington today, but with the way eligibility has totally been shaken up by the COVID season, some players have more eligibility left, even though they're a senior academically. Some might have been recognized last season and come back for that 5th or 6th year. So those are the 5 that were honored pregame today. Johnston finds McDaniel. Rolls it ahead for Weinert. They work it far side. Reichling. A low line drive. Need away. Sullivan gets to it. Drops it back for Branson. The Huskies bring it back out and survey with McDaniel. McDaniel with a laser in. Chance there for Weinert, but she airmails it over the crossbar. Weinert from Milwaukee, Oregon, south of Portland. She scored her first brace as a Husky last Friday against her former team, Oregon State. Her 2 goals lifted Washington back from a 2-0 deficit and helped them come away with a point in that match. Weinert, by the way, spent 4 seasons with Oregon State. She was all Pac-12 third team with the Beavers. Chance here for Arizona State. That one ricochets away. Off the strike from Delgado. And a corner kick coming for the Sun Devils, the first of the afternoon. And it's Lucy Johnson getting ready to tee it up. A junior from England who has 7 assists this season. That's second best in the Pac-12. This one bounces in, spills through. Douglas trying to weave her way through traffic, but cut off. Back to Delgado. Branson cuts that one out. Pressing up is Leitner. And good defending by Sullivan there. So Washington fends off an early scoring chance for Arizona State. They didn't get a good look at a shot, but still some loose balls inside the box that can cause some anxiety. Here's Kreitzer right back to Nellis. Nellis, by the way, a career-high 9 saves in that scoreless draw against Utah last Friday. Followed that up with 7 more saves in the 2-0 victory against Washington State on Thursday. So she's got back-to-back clean sheets. Here's Johnson, able to get it to Douglas. Johnson double-teamed in the corner. Reichling stepping up and does win a throw-in for Washington. Reichling playing in her hometown of Seattle. She attended Seattle Prep High School, where she won a state title and went undefeated in 2015. Her father, Ted, played tennis at UW. She's been a game changer for this program for quite some time. Here's Sullivan. Ran off the ball by Kreitzer, and she wants to push ahead. And it's blown off the leg of McDaniel. Farrell tosses it in to Delgado. A lot of international influence on this Sun Devil squad. Delgado from Mexico. They have players from the Netherlands, New Zealand, England, Iceland, Germany, as well as British Columbia. As head coach Graham Winkworth has got this program headed in the right direction in his 6th year. You go back to 2019, the Sun Devils went just 6-11-3, but they'd follow that up with a great 2020 season. Remember, that season was actually played in the spring of 2021 due to COVID. But the Sun Devils went 9-6-2, qualified for the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2014. And they've carried that momentum into the next 2 seasons. 10-8-2 last fall as Douglas gets a little room here. Angling back to her right. 3 different white jerseys converge on her, and Seifert pries it away. But last year, yeah, Arizona State above 500 again at 10-8-2. The conference mark wasn't as strong as they lost a ton of 1-goal games. They went 1-6 in 1-goal contests, and thus went 2-7-2 in conference play. This year, they've already topped that total for wins, 3-3-1, 5th place in the Pac-12. And they have an excellent RPI at 18th in the country. Washington's currently 49. And we do have a stoppage here for an injured Sun Devil. Van Dersen is down. She's a graduate student from the Netherlands. 5 goals, 4 assists this season. And she's had a terrific career. She needs just 1 more assist, actually, to tie Arizona State Hall of Famer Stacy Tulloch for most career assists in a Sun Devil uniform. Now ASU ready to go back to work. Nellis will float this one toward the edge of the box. Bounces over to Rennie. Chance to volley this one from way out. Delgado! And Arizona State draws first blood. A bouncing ball off the free kick. A little service from Rennie gets it over to Delgado, who is able to sneak it past Sakani. And at the end of the 14th minute, Arizona State gets on the board. Delgado's 5th goal of the season. Washington looking for a quick strike back the other way. Good job by Johnson defensively. And they get it back to Delgado here. Seifert, swarmed by black jerseys, gets it away. So with some change in opposition, this Arizona State offense finding itself once again. No longer playing the Stanford and USC, UCLA's of the world. A pair of goals against Washington State on Thursday, and here in the Pacific Northwest, they've added another this Sunday afternoon with plenty of time to pile on some more. Both these teams are among the top 20 in the nation in assists. They pass particularly well as Washington's caught offside there. But Arizona State 19th in the country in assists per match, 2.3 for them per game. And Washington is 13th in the country, 37 total assists for them this year. Here comes Farrell, trying to sneak it past Johnson in the corner. Johnston is wise to it. And Nicole Van Dyke arguing for a whistle from the bench. She does get one. Van Dyke, the third-year head coach of this Washington program. Spent 13 years as a head coach at 3 different schools before joining UW. And she's got a stellar record with these Huskies, 24, 16, and 11 midway through her 3rd season. Here's Ferry getting a full head of steam and then finding Sullivan. Trying to dump it right back to Ferry, but it's snuffed out by Farrell. Johnston crosses it toward the edge of the box, headed away. Good work by Wilkinson. Douglas and seeking out Rennie, and that one goes all the way through. The goal for Delgado, by the way, the 11th of her career. Her 5th season has proven to be her best. 5 goals this season, 3 assists. She hadn't produced more than 3 goals in any single season prior, although she did have 7 assists in the 2020 campaign. That one threads through traffic. Sullivan trying to blast it back in front of net. Shoulder to shoulder, Ferry goes with Kreitzer, and that will bring a whistle and a card as well. So Ferry takes a yellow card in the 19th minute. Only 2 shots per side at this point, and only 1 on net. Of course, it found the net. Douglas turns, splits 2 defenders. Gets it out wide for Delgado. Knifing to her right. Back for Van Dersen, now Wilkinson. A bullet coming in, headed away by Johnston. Yates, through ball, looking for Sullivan. Here comes the former Sun Devil. And it's knocked away from behind by Kreitzer. What a chase down by Andrea Kreitzer, the freshman from British Columbia. It does result in a corner kick, though, for Washington in the 20th minute. Here's Yates. Low cross, headed on net by Ferry, but Nellis hangs in for the save. Ferry perfectly got her head on it, but directed it right at Nellis. Washington's first shot on goal. Another corner for them now. Holmes sends this one in. Wilkinson heads it away. Out to Johnston. She wants to fire from way out. Looking for the upper left corner. Nellis is able to pry it out of the air. And a whistle here as Rennie hits the turf. Washington finally puts some pressure on Paulina Nellis, and it's no issue for her. Averaging 1.3 goals against this season. She's got 3 clean sheets, saving almost 80% of shots she faces. And perhaps playing at her best at this point in the season. 16 saves in her last 2 matches, which have both been shutouts. She started 12 straight after missing the season opener while playing with the German national team. Here comes Douglas. Johnston cuts her off. Body is still flying at Douglas, graduate student from London, who's Arizona State's all-time leader in goals. And Douglas is able to claim that title early this season, back on September 1st with a brace against UAB. And she's just zipped past Stacy Tulloch to be the all-time leader in goals, points, and game-winning goals at ASU. That one's given away to Reichling. Branson finds Yates, turns and delivers for Sullivan. And a foot race with Farrell, and now a ball ahead for Douglas. And we'll tee up another corner for ASU. So midway through our first half, a couple of shots on goal for Washington, 1 for Arizona State, and it was a beauty of a shot from Alexia Delgado, resulting in her 5th goal of the season. That one's headed just over the crossbar. Douglas curled around a defender and got her head on it. Just a little too high. So here come our first subs of the afternoon. Carly Stickle, the fifth-year forward from Puyallup, Washington, enters. And so does Kolo Seliafu, a freshman from Ontario, California. That one trickles through. Ferry gets to it. Back for Reichling. Accelerates to her right, reverses field. Floated toward the 6 and elevating is Nellis to haul it in. Got undercut. Came down in a heap, but looks like she's okay. With Stickle and Seliafu coming on, Johnston and Sullivan get rest. And there's Seliafu making an impact right away. A first year from California, Nicole Van Dyke called her a rock-hard defender who offers a lot on both sides of the ball. She plans to major in political science, and she's number 35 in Top Drawer Soccer's ranking of the top 100 freshmen in the country. Branson able to loft it up for Ferry, and it's an easy whistle for the official as Kreitzer came in behind Ferry and tripped her up. Pretty similar rosters here from an experience standpoint. Washington had 21 returning letter winners, 10 true freshmen. Arizona State with 17 returners, 11 newcomers, 9 of them freshmen, 2 transfers. And that one floats over everybody, and Nellis scoops it up. And Arizona State has the quartet of fifth-year players: Douglas, Wynn, Delgado, Van Dersen. Washington brought back 3 captains from last year in Johnston, Holmes, and Sakani. Kreitzer hustles back to it. And Nellis runs it past Ferry. The Huskies pressing up with Weinert. Seliafu gives it away. Delgado turns to her right. Gets it right back from Darst. And now we'll see Carrie Matthews come on for Arizona State, replacing Gabby Rennie. Matthews, a sophomore forward from England. Missed 9 games last year due to injury. But she's back factoring in for the Sun Devil squad while majoring in marketing at ASU. Wilkinson rolls it near side and finds Farrell. Great hustle, though, by Weinert to retrieve it. Darce blasts it back out toward midfield. Farrell. And a little miscommunication between two Huskies trying to intercept that pass. In comes Anasia Colon, replacing Hannah Leitner. Colon, a freshman from Bradenton, Florida. And Stickle can't trap that one as we get another sub. 1 by 1. They're sprinkled into the match. Olivia Wen takes the pitch and replaces Van Dersen. Wen, a graduate forward from Tempe, Arizona, playing for her hometown team. Yates takes it away from Delgado. Gets it over to Weinert. Saliafu rolls it to the corner for Weinert. Farrell defending. Weinert trying to cut to her left, but Farrell is all over her. And it'll be a goal kick for ASU. Kreitzer walks it ahead. Weinert quickly steps to Farrell before the ricochet out of play. And that one's out. Still just the 3 shots on goal. Washington trying to kick their offense in gear. Their offense has been better than their defense this year, with almost 2.5 goals per match. 4th best mark in the Pac-12. 13 different Huskies have scored this season, including 5 players with 4 goals or more. But they are one of 3 teams in the Pac-12 without a player who has scored more than 5. It's been a very spread out attack for UW. And they're typically a team that places a lot of shots on goal. They're 5th in the nation in shots on goal per game with 9 per contest. Here comes Haley Still for Washington. She'll replace Kyla Ferry. And we'll also see Ava Wright come on for Arizona State, replacing Lucy Johnson. Wright, a freshman defender from British Columbia, while Haley Still is a junior forward from Kent, Washington, down in the south suburbs of Seattle. Pinballed back out for Reichling. Crossed in front. Started to spill toward Yates, but Wilkinson got there first. A clutch clearance from the junior midfielder. Yates back on it. Drops it back for Branson. She finds Stickle. And she sends a line drive right at Nellis, defending at the near pipe. And had no issue with snaring that missile off the foot of Stickle. Yates splits two defenders. Delgado on top of her from behind. And eventually Wilkinson sends a rainbow back out. Here's Seliafu. And Carrie Matthews on her shoulder. And boots it over the end line. So a corner kick coming for Washington. The Huskies got off to such a hot start at the beginning of this season. They had 13 goals in their first 4 matches, which marked the best start offensively for them since 2001. But just as Arizona State has found out, Washington ran into the much tougher competition in conference play, and that will quickly stall an offense. Far post, headed out. Douglas was there. Reichling floats this one in. Yates. All the way back out to McDaniel. Reichling will send it in again. Farrell got her head to it. Stickle couldn't get a good swipe at it. She's pushed down, but there won't be a whistle here, and it will result in an Arizona State goal kick. Here comes Lauren Kerberg for the Sun Devils. The sophomore defender from Peoria, Arizona enters and replaces Jasmine Wilkinson, who has been phenomenal during this recent sequence. Helping ensure that Arizona State protects this 1-goal lead. Kreitzer flicks it right back for Nellis. That long pass finds Wright. Can't slice through the midfield. The bouncing ball drops to Kerberg. Pass from Farrell intercepted as Still gets in the way. Here's Weinert blowing past Farrell. Gets past Kreitzer. A little room for Weinert. In front, there's Yates. Back out for Still. Wants to fire with the right and misses wide right. A solid combination there from Washington, resulting in a solid look. The shot not on target. Douglas gets some rest here before halftime, with Caitlin Johannes coming on, a sophomore from Hawaii. Seliafu intercepts. Gets it to Branson. Stickle charging into the corner. And Farrell comes away with it. But now a corner kick for the Huskies. It'll be their 4th corner of the afternoon. Arizona State's only seen a pair of them. But Paulina Nellis has stopped everything in net. 3 saves for her so far this afternoon. And she's already got back-to-back shutouts coming into this match. Yates punches it in, and Nellis takes it right in the gut. Catches that one in the breadbasket here in the 38th minute. Cologne finds a window and gets it to Kreitzer. That one won't slip through. A twister over to Kerberg. And Delgado's cut down. It was Haley Still who made an aggressive tackle attempt. And we'll get a free kick at midfield. And keep in mind here, this free kick is rather far out, but the last time Arizona State had a little set piece from way out here, it resulted in a goal. Nellis floated one into the edge of the box, and after a couple of deflections, Delgado put it home. This one won't be a threat immediately, though. Instead, it's the Huskies trying to counter. McDaniel races past a defender. Her pass out in front of Branson, though. Here's Stickle. Working the left wing now. Cologne lofts it way ahead. Matthews trying to sneak behind the back line. Suliafu gets tripped up, but no whistle, and it'll be a throw-in for Arizona State. Nicole Van Dyke pleading her case with the officials, but no foul committed there. Just the third season for Van Dyke here at Washington. And her first season was marvelous, 10-4-4 in that COVID-shortened season, in which the Huskies advanced to the Sweet 16 for the 6th time in program history, and the first time since 2014. They ended that season ranked 15th in the United Soccer Coaches poll, the highest end of season ranking in over a decade and third highest ever for UW. Last season they took a step back, 6-8-4, while finishing 5th in conference at 4-4-3. Not often you see a team with a record in conference that's much stronger than the overall mark. And now this year, once again, they vaulted up to that 15th spot in the country. They were 8-1-2 several weeks ago, but they've dipped to 8-4-3, winless in their last 4 outings, and trailing here late in the first half as we get a whistle just outside the box. And this will be the best spot that Washington has seen a set piece today. And Shea Holmes will take it. A graduate student from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. And Carly Stickle's also there. Here's Holmes. McDaniel gets her head on it. Nellis steps up and rips it out of the sky. Shea Holmes, though, is quite a story. Someone who's battled back from injuries, torn ACLs, missed last season due to a torn ACL. Nicole Van Dyke called her so versatile as Weinert gets free, a little room, tripped up. We play on. Clean tackle made by Kreitzer to neutralize that scoring opportunity. McDaniel rolls it far side for Reichling. McDaniel with Johannes right behind her. Still stepping up. Kerberg's able to find Farrell. Or rather, that's Matthews. And now a throw in for Washington. Now, Arizona State had the upper hand in the first 15 minutes. They got the lone goal in this first half back in the 14th minute. But it feels like the Dogs have mostly controlled the proceedings since then. And they do have 3 goals compared to the 1 for ASU. They've kept the ball in the offensive end for the majority of the back half of this first half. But now with less than a minute to go until the break, a free kick for Arizona State and Paulina Nellis. This one she sends lower, still heads it away. Yates going shoulder to shoulder with Delgado. And a throw in for the Huskies. A little pep in their step here. Under 10 seconds until recess. Branson barking for a handball, but won't get one. And that will take us to halftime. The lone goal in our first half, scored by Alexia Delgado back in the 14th minute. Her 5th of the season, the 11th of her career, and it gives the Sun Devils a 1-0 edge going into the break. We'll step aside here for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back to get you set for half number 2 on Pac-12 Plus.